Alabama environmentalists, they're keeping their eyes on Hoosick Falls, New York. The Environmental Protection Agency added that small community to a list of possible Superfund sites due to PFOA contamination.
Now, that's the same contamination that many people here in the Tennessee Valley have been dealing with, and what led to one local water authority to warn residents this summer not to drink the water. And
WHNT News 19's Al Whitaker shows us how politics could play a major role in getting federal help with the river.
David Whiteside says if local and state elected officials recognize the need for improvement, it would go a long way towards gaining federal help in cleaning up the Tennessee River. He points to state officials in New York who essentially demanded the Environmental Protection Agency do its job. And last week, Hoosick Falls, New York, was added to a list of possible Superfund sites because of PFOA contamination. Whiteside's group, Tennessee Riverkeeper, has filed a lawsuit in an effort to get environmental laws enforced here.
The municipal and state government seem to be in the pocket of these polluters and refuse to enforce these laws.
He says the PFC contamination problems in Hoosick Falls and Decatur are almost identical, but he says the reactions from state and local officials between the two communities has been as different as night and day. Attorney Carl Cole is handling yet another lawsuit over the contamination here. He says it's a matter of priorities.
When you have local elected officials and maybe even some state elected officials that are concerned about job numbers, they don't want anything bad to be said about one of their local industries. And that makes it hard for them to hold those industries accountable, even when they're hurting our natural resources, which I think is pretty undisputed that that's what's taking place.
And so if Wheeler Lake is declared a Superfund site, yes, it would mean federal intervention, federal oversight into the cleanup efforts underway, and additional funding to help that project along. But the underlying problem remains the fact that these PFC compounds, namely the PFOA and PFOS, are unregulated. The city of Decatur has a permit to discharge an unlimited quantity right back into the river. From Decatur, Al Whitaker, WHNT News 19.
Another environmental group, Warriors for Clean Water, is circulating petitions asking for federal intervention on Wheeler Lake, and they plan to hand deliver the petitions to members of Congress and the EPA in Washington.